Hi there and welcome back to the Oil Well with me, Nick Dax. This is part of the thriving oils community where we are committed to supporting, educating and inspiring people to use essential oils to improve health and well-being, physically, emotionally, mentally and spiritually. And today I am going to try and inspire you to use your essential oils to help with hormonal balance. Now, we touched on this in the last video when we made that lovely foaming hand soap and talked a bit about hormonal balance. Now, for anyone watching, particularly men who are thinking, oh, that means women's health and hormones, the menstrual cycle and PMS, it doesn't. Our hormonal system is actually our endocrine system, and it is responsible for carrying out loads of functions within our bodies. And when that is out of balance, it can cause all sorts of underlying health issues. So let's think about your own health. Are you someone that gets lots of niggly headaches? No particular reason why you get them, but you find yourself with headaches on an almost daily basis and you're having to take painkillers in order for those headaches to go away. Perhaps you're someone that suffers with their sleep. Are you someone that finds it particularly difficult to go to sleep at night? Or maybe you sleep absolutely fine at night, but then just cannot get yourself out of bed in the mornings. Or maybe you go to sleep okay, but then wake up in the wee small hours and then you can't go back to sleep. What about your energy levels? Are you someone that finds in the afternoon you get a real energy slump? And perhaps when that happens, you look for sugary junk food to give you that boost to get you through the afternoon. What about your mood? Are you finding that your moods are very out of balance, very up and down, and maybe also very snappy, so that you're flying off the handle at the slightest thing? Maybe it's a little bit more than that. Maybe you are really struggling with depression. Weight issues. Have you put on weight and you can't shift those few extra pounds? All of these things could be related to hormonal imbalance. And the problem with that imbalance is that the hormones just sort of creep around in the background. They can give us all sorts of symptoms that we just learn to live with, sometimes without even questioning. Occasionally, they might be severe enough that we do go along to the doctor. But what is causing this imbalance? Well, probably our lives. Think about the way that we live our lives and work. Our work lives seem to get busier and busier. We take on more and more in the jobs that we do. It's like we are afraid to say no, because does that show that we're weak or something? I don't know, but we take on more and more. The hours that we work probably are longer and longer, and the stress that we feel increases. We are not allowing ourselves that downtime in between, so that family time, that time with our friends, our loved ones. And it's that time where our bodies can readjust, they can recuperate, and we can get that mind-body balance back, which is so important. Now, if you add into our working lives things like environmental factors, air pollutants, they can put us under pressure. Synthetic hormones that we find in a lot of beauty products, that can put us under pressure, and synthetics and toxins that actually are in household products. So we've got all of those sort of pollutants and toxins, and then even emotional upheaval could be added into the mix as well. When you look at that catalogue of possible issues in our life, it's hardly surprising that we have an imbalance hormonally. Now, what I want to do is to encourage you to think about using some of these oils to address that imbalance, to get your systems working much better. Because as we've said, hormones are so important for mood, for emotion, for energy, for weight issues, and for general functioning and well-being. So what I want to do today is to encourage you to use essential oils as a way of trying to readdress that balance and get your hormonal balance in a much better place. Now, in order to do that, you actually have to be a little bit selfish. As a person, you have to acknowledge that you need to show yourselves a little bit of self-care, a little bit of self-love. And actually, I think we find that quite difficult to do. We spend our lives worrying about other people and don't actually invest that time in ourselves. But I want you to think of yourself as a cup. I know, a bit weird, but bear with me. If your cup is not full, how can you possibly give to other people? If your cup is overflowing, that is when you're in a position where you can give more of yourself to other people. So really, we're thinking about how can you fill up your cup? And obviously that's going to be different from person to person. But you know what? Using these essential oils, you can create lovely little good habits into your your day-to-day routine. Good habits will help to readdress that balance, will give you a little bit of time for yourself. And you know what? When we show ourselves that time, we can improve our own confidence and belief in ourselves. We can be more productive as a person, and our focus and our function can be better, very often in the workplace, so that's good. And overall, our health and well-being can improve. Now, I'm not talking about major changes to your life. Small things make a big difference. I want you to think about using the oils to just allow yourself a little you time. The very first place that I would start is with your immune system. Support your underlying health and immunity, you're less likely to succumb to the everyday illnesses. Now, when we did the therapeutic first aid kit, we looked at making up those rollable blends that would help support us. If you've only got the starter kit, then just use those oils, thieves, lemon and frankincense in a rollable. Get into the habit of putting that maybe on the soles of your feet before you go to bed, or the base of your spine. That's another really good place. And just slowly let that support your system. That's all it takes. That's one good habit. And if you are thinking about that immune system and you're happy to ingest the oils, not all of them, remember, but some of them are really good for ingesting, why don't you bring that into your daily routine? My morning starts with my lovely mug from my son, who tells me that that is from my favourite child. My morning drink is a couple of slices of fresh lemon with hot water. But since using the oils, I have always added just one drop of thieves into the cup, hot water on the top, and that's my morning drink. And I really have found that's given me a difference. Difference to my health, a difference to how susceptible I am to coming down with coughs, colds and flus. It's brilliant. So that's my first kind of good thing with the oils, the good daily habit. But there's other moments through the day when you can obviously ingest the oils if you choose to do so. A drop of the citrus oils, which we've mentioned before, in cold water give you a fantastic boost and energy, and you're getting the goodness of the citrus oils, the vitamin C, and of course the happiness that they evoke. So that's just a couple of things. And once you've got your kind of immune system feeling like you're supporting that, think about what other areas of your life you can support yourself in. Are headaches your problem? Why not get yourself a rollable blend of oils that help with headaches? And we've looked at this again in the therapeutic first aid kit. Lavender, peppermint and frankincense. Those oils are all in the starter kit, along with copaiba. A rollable to suit you. You can carry that around with you. Use that instead of immediately going for a paracetamol or an ibuprofen tablet, and see if you can manage your headaches better using the oils. You see, remember, the brilliant thing about these oils are they're not just helping with the headache. Those oils are actually helping you on a deeper level. They will be helping you perhaps to feel more calm, less stressed, less anxious, and that is going to actually be addressing the cause of the headache, not just the headache itself. If sleep is your problem, think about a routine that you can do every evening to help you calm down, switch off, still that mental chatter. And that could be diffusing different oils, even on your bedside table, so that it's there as you go to sleep, or just as you sit down in the evening. But think of those lovely grounding oils. Frankincense is one of them, and lavender. They are obviously starter kit oils. You could add in cedarwood. It's a lovely grounding oil and it's not an expensive one. And you can come up with various mixes that suit you. If you're looking at purchasing different oils, you can add in vetiver, Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, bergamot. These are all really good ones for just grounding you, switching off, relaxing you. And again, you can make up rollable blends, which you can just roll onto your pulse points or your chest area where you can still smell it as you go to sleep. If energy is the problem, peppermint and orange. You can diffuse it. Again, a rollable or a drop in water is a great way of giving you a pick-me-up and a boost of energy. It's also said to be a fantastic way of curbing sugar cravings, orange and peppermint. So perhaps if your pick-me-up is a sugary snack, peppermint and orange actually might help to just stave that craving off. There's all sorts of things you can do. And each and every one of these little things will go some way in helping you to support yourself. Now I'm just going to show you a couple of other things that I like to do. I've mentioned before these lovely little personal inhalers. They really are fantastic. You can carry them around with you, and whenever you need it, just a quick sniff, and it can really help either give you a lift if that's what the blend of oils is, calm you down if that's what you're looking for. Now, you can buy these plastic canisters online, Amazon, eBay. They're called personal inhalers. This whole bag, I think there's about 28 in this bag, and honestly, it must have only been a few pounds. It comes along with the cotton filters that you put inside them. So you've got the complete kit ready to go. And all you need to do is to slowly and carefully drop your oils onto the cotton filter before popping it away inside the actual personal inhaler. Now, the oils that I've got here are peppermint, grapefruit, and rosemary. So if we're going to use these now, what we're going to be doing is creating a sort of energizing personal inhaler. And I tell you what, if you have a quick sniff of that in the afternoon where you get that sort of fatigue, that energy drops off, you're going to go a long way to sort of helping to refocus the mind, sharpen yourself up. So all I'm going to do is just slowly and carefully drop on the oils, just allowing the cotton filter to really absorb them. And I suppose really we're looking at about 5 drops. And when I first made one of these, I think I did my little Happy Bliss one, or this one's coming out really fast. I was quite worried that it wouldn't last for very long, that the smell would very quickly sort of go stale, really. And I'll be absolutely honest, that little grey one that I have just shown you was the very first one I did, and I tell you what, I have never topped it up. It still smells amazing, and it does give me a little lift and a little smile. So we've got about 15 drops on there. If you don't want to use your fingers, just use a pair of tweezers, but just pop that away inside, and then they have just a little kind of cap on the end which you need to push in. Quite hard to push these in. Sometimes I give them a good old bang on the table, but you heard that one snapping into place. So you just give that a little shake, obviously, and all you do now is you unscrew it and ready to inhale. And that again can just be popped into your bag, and when you need that little energizer or refocusing, you take a little smell of it. It's as simple as that. If you buy yourself some little labels, you can stick a label on the end of it so that actually you know what kind of blend that one is. Okay, so the oils there, all good energizing ones, refocusing and uplifting. The other thing that I'm going to show you, again, as a nice little self-care routine, is a good old-fashioned bath. Now, I'm not going to show you the bath salts. I can't tell you how brilliant it is just to have a quarter of an hour or 20 minutes in a nice hot bath where you have added in some good old-fashioned bath salts. Now, you can get these from chemists, you can get them online. They're not difficult to get hold of, and they're not expensive. I'm going to urge you, though, to buy plain bath salts, okay? You're going to add in the flavour, if you like. So just stick to the plain ones. And all you need to do is kind of measure out into a bowl about a cup full of them. This packet is getting quite low. Right, so just roughly a cup of them, because that's basically how big my pot is. And then into that cup, you are going to add whichever oils you're looking to use. I'm going to do one that is more for sort of switching off in the evening, ready for sleep. So the oils that I'm using are, of course, lavender. You just drop on maybe 3 or 4 drops of each of the oils. So that one's lavender. Cedarwood, as I said, lovely grounding oil, not overly expensive, and a great one in terms of just calming at the end of a day. I use it quite a lot actually for sleep. Lavender and cedarwood is one of my favourite combinations. Now I'm actually going to add in clary sage. Clary sage is a superb oil. So many wonderful benefits to this. Very good for female hormones. It's one of the most powerful oils. But you know what? It is also really, really good for sleep. So we're mixing in a little bit of clary sage as well. Now obviously you do want to give those a jolly good mix up. Okay, so that the oils kind of blend into the salts. But it is as simple as that in terms of getting a therapeutic benefit to those Epsom salts. And then when you're ready, you know, if you've got a nice pot, just pop them away into the pot, and they're there on the side in the bathroom, and they are ready to be sprinkled into your bath when you feel the need. And I tell you what, that is not an expensive thing to put together. The benefits are enormous, and of course, it makes a lovely gift as well. So there we go, all ready to be sprinkled into the bath and just to feel those benefits. In the bath, you are going to be able to obviously smell them, but also they're going to be soaking into you through your skin as well. So you really are getting a double whammy there. Now, everyone is different. You find what works for you, but believe me, if you use these oils consistently, you will help to support that foundational health, to readdress that imbalance in the hormones. And you should notice a massive improvement in things like your energy, your mood, your focus. It is well worth doing. So I will leave you to go off and decide what little creations you're going to make. Please do like, subscribe and share to these videos, but do join me again on the next one, and we are going to be looking at making a really indulgent but very simple body butter, just to continue with that self-love and self-care. Until next time though, I'll say thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.